it's time for the Washington Whisperer. Progressive women dominated a slate of Democratic primaries on Tuesdays, winning key races in Kentucky, Texas, and in Georgia. In Kentucky's 6th district, we saw former Marine pilot Amy McGraw beat one of the best-known politicians in the state, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray. And if this wasn't enough, in Georgia, State House Democratic leader Stacey Abrams made history by becoming the first black woman in the nation to clinch a major party's nomination for governor. Abrams is sure to see backing from national names as Georgia emerges as a swing state in 2020 after a close presidential race in the general election. Can progressive women expect to see continued success? Let's talk about it. America. 2018 is the year of the woman. Hear them roar. And bravo to you ladies for standing up and fighting back against misogyny, sexism, and just disgusting ass men. And we're seeing this take place there's over 400 women running for Congress, right? And they're running for House seats, they're running for Senate seats. Women, they're running for mayor, they're running for state legislature. Women have had enough of being at the back burner. And women are finally saying, listen, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we're ready for action. Texas, let's start there, in the Lone Star State. Another female military veteran and former Air Force intelligence officer, Gina Ortiz Jones, won a runoff in Texas's 23rd district and will face off against a Republican in the general election. In Texas's 31st district, M.J. Hager, a Air Force veteran and author of Shoot Like a Girl, won her runoff in the Democratic nominee, for the Democratic nomination. And the big race in Texas. In the race for Texas governor, former Dallas County Sheriff Lupe Valdez won her runoff to become the Democratic nominee. She will be the first openly gay Latina nominated for governor in the state of Texas. And Texas has a history of electing female governors. People forget that Texas was also the home of the famous, the well-known Ann Richards, one of the first female governors in the country. It's a big deal. But let's hone in on Georgia. So Georgia is supposed to be, analysts year after year, election after election say that Georgia is supposed to be the next sort of bellwether purple state in the union. Now, for a very long time, Georgia has been a state where white Caucasian Democrats have depended upon the African American base of voters and some moderates to win their election. That's how you had, Sam Nunn, right, the famous former senator. And that's why you've had Democratic governors in the state of Georgia. But here's what happened. Something called population growth and migration. Now, Georgia's Democratic base are black and brown people, period. That's it. That's the entire base. I mean, there's some others, but I mean, a majority, a good 50 or 60% of the Democratic base in the state of Georgia is black individuals. And now, as we get into the general election, Stacey Abrams, like I said, she made history, is now going to depend on this base to take her over the finish line. If you look at the primary totals, you saw that in the Republican primary, the winner got 100,000 more votes than Stacey did. Don't get me wrong, America. I'm not going to get your hopes up about this race. For Democrats, winning the Georgia Republican governor's mansion is going to be an uphill battle. It's almost like climbing Mount Everest. But here's the thing, America. When the going gets tough, we the tough, we get going. And Stacey's inspirational campaign has galvanized millions of people in Georgia and millions of people around the country to believe that it is indeed possible that a little sprinkle of black girl magic over a governor's mansion can change not only the history books, but can change Georgia for the better. So as much as all the pollsters and prognosticators have given this race over to the Republicans to win, we here at the Fowler Show, we're hitching our political prognostication wagon to Stacey Abrams. And here's why. President Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 5 points in Georgia in 2016, a margin that made the state closer than traditional swing state Ohio and Iowa, and underscores that the Democrats, they could have a shot here. The fact that President Clinton only lost this race by 5 points, and we can all agree, excuse me, that was a Freudian slip. Secretary Clinton lost the race by 5 points. We can all agree that there is a shot here for Democrats. Here's why. The climate has changed. President Trump has now been in office for almost a year and a half. His popularity rating is, let's say it best, in the toilet, period. Right? African American voters are galvanized. They're galvanized by this president. And the bordering state, the state next door, Alabama, remember, it was black folks in Alabama that took Doug Jones over the edge. Now, Alabama's numbers, America, do not look anything near as close, not even remotely as close to the Georgia numbers. And yes, I know there's going to be some Republican listening to this on the radio or watching this on YouTube that's going to say, oh, well, the only reason why Doug Jones won in Alabama was because you guys painted Roy Moore as a pedophile. Well, we didn't paint him as a pedophile. He was a pedophile. And people told their story, and he lost. But there's also something to say about Doug Jones. Doug Jones ran a really good campaign. He decided to have conversations with the people of his state. And when he did that, African Americans turned out in record number to put him in the White House. in the Capitol. And now you have the state of Georgia. A state of Georgia where thanks to President Obama running in 2008 and 2012, we have really good data about where these swing voters are and how do we get them to come out. And because I do believe that the black folk and the Democrats and a lot of independents in Georgia want to make history and they want to shatter this glass ceiling, they're going to turn out for record numbers. They've been trying to record numbers for Stacey Abrams. One of the most powerful forces in politics that people like to act like it doesn't exist. But even President Trump knows about this force. And this force is why he's actually sitting in the White House today. And that force is about the power of belief. The power to believe. President Trump won the presidency of the United States because he gave Americans something to believe in. This notion, whether false or not, of we can make America great again. Stacey Abrams' campaign in Georgia, and I've been down there and I've seen it. It is the same. It is nowhere near similar to the Trump campaign. But where the through line here, the thread that connects these two, is her campaign is also based on belief. If you listen to her acceptance speech that she gave a couple days ago, this past Tuesday, she said, I believe in a Georgia where everybody has health care. I believe in a Georgia where public education works for every student. That power of belief and that conviction and the fact that people in Georgia have an opportunity to break a glass ceiling that has never been broken below the Mason-Dixon line and in the United States overall gives me hope that Stacey Abrams, we could be calling her the Honorable Governor Abrams from the state of Georgia. Like I said, this is going to be an uphill battle. But we here at the Fowler Show, we believe in what we believe, we know. Bump believing. We know what a sprinkle of black girl magic can do. And Stacey's got a whole host of it. And so our wagon and our prediction is that Stacey Abrams will be the next governor of Georgia. Now, it's not going to be an easy slug. We have 6 or 7 months left, and Stacey is going to have to she's going to have to press the gas. And if you're watching this, and if you believe in making history in Georgia, you're going to have to help. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your vote. But if you have some extra cash laying around, you know exactly what you need to do. If you live in Georgia, you damn sure know what you've got to do. But America, if this is the year of the woman, and if we want to stand up to misogyny, racism, and sexism, it's about time that we put some women in office and watch then see what they can do. So Stacey Abrams, we here at the Fowler Show, we've got your back.